Welcome to ANN, the Anderson News Network. I'm Tommy Loughran.
And I'm Phil Cipollina. We'll be your hosts this evening for the past years in review because our station is too cheap to do this annually.
Procrastination at its finest.
First, we'll be going to an interview on the Mexican-American War with our correspondent Niles Davies and President James K. Polk.
Take it away, Niles.
Thanks, Tom. We're going to dive straight into this interview with President James K. Polk. Mr. President, you're known to be strongly affiliated with former President Andrew Jackson. Would you classify yourself as a Jacksonian Democrat? Please explain why or why not.
Yes, I would classify myself as a Jacksonian Democrat. I certainly align myself with many of that party's ideals, along with that of former President Jackson.
Do you support some of Mr. Jackson's more controversial beliefs as president? For example, the Indian Removal Act and the destruction of the Second National Bank?
Well, President Jackson definitely had some more controversial ideals during his presidency, but I do think they were in the best interest of the nation, and I support those that would help us become a better nation. I think that's what they were able to accomplish.
Okay. Some people have referred to you as Young Hickory. Care to share any comment on this?
I love the nickname Young Hickory. Andrew Jackson's a big reason why I am where I am today, and I really appreciate that nickname.
Okay. Moving on to more recent events, how do you feel about the belief of Manifest Destiny?
Manifest Destiny is what's going to make this country great. Expanding west improves everything in manufacturing, trade, socially. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to have the American dream, and that's what we're pushing with Manifest Destiny. If God's telling us to go west, and if He's with us, we can be against us.
Okay. What economic, political, and social benefits are you hoping to achieve as we continue to move westward as a nation?
I'm just trying to improve every aspect of American life. Economically, it means trade, factories, manufacturing, all of that. Socially, improving the lives of the people going out west. They've shown in the past they want to go out west, and that's what I want to do. And politically, I think everybody can get behind just improving this country and making a great nation for us.
Okay. The beginning of the Mexican-American War has caused much controversy throughout the nation. What do you hope to achieve from this conflict?
I hope to achieve just good for the people of Texas, who they've obviously in the territories in New Mexico, such and such, that obviously want to be a part of this country. And also, yes, including maybe some land, and that helps us. But we just want to become a better nation. This helps us be a better nation, expands us, and just makes us better in every aspect.
Okay, and our final question. Some are claiming this war is mainly for land opportunity for the United States. How do you respond to these accusations?
I wouldn't disagree, but I would say it's more of a good thing. I wouldn't say that's the only reason. There's many reasons. But when it comes to the land, the more we expand means the more space we have. And just overall, we can improve ourselves. We can improve everything. More land, and there's people in these lands that want to be here. So I think more land, the merrier.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Mr. President. We're going to go back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Niles. That was a great interview with the president, and I think I have to agree with him. I think going to war with Mexico is the greatest decision we've had.
I think that was a horrible decision. It's just a land grab by the United States.
Well, I believe the land grab was a great idea because I believe that it's our God-given right to fulfill Manifest Destiny.
I believe that we should honor the treaties we've made with the Native Americans to give them that land.
I believe you're stupid and ugly, Phil.
I believe we should go to our northern commentator, Michael Sackman. Michael?
Thanks, Phil. President Polk has instigated a war between us and our trade partner, Mexico. Now he's trying to acquire land for them in a war that he started by stationing our troops in disputed land. And now we're losing our friends, our family, and our money to pay for the war he caused. And he's saying this is a good thing, that we're acquiring land to better us, but at what cost? Everything. And yet he suffers in no way. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Sackman, for that wonderful insight into the North's opinion on the war. It aligns very well with my beliefs that the war was a complete and utter waste of human lives and resources.
However, everything he just said was entirely redundant because the war ended earlier this year. Everything you just previously saw was pre-taped. So So now we're going to go to our Southern commentator Jovan and hear his opinion on the ending of the war and the Wilmot Proviso. Jovan? I hate doing this so much. Everything I am is a wish. This is dumb, and I hate you, Phil.
The camera's still rolling, Tom.
You're still rolling.
Thanks, Tom. As many of you know, the Mexican-American War has finally concluded, and as the victors, we come out with new land that is rightfully ours. However, instead of merely celebrating and populating our new land, some in Congress have decided to suggest the Wilmot Proviso Act that would ban all slavery in that newly required areas. Slavery is the South's main way of an economy, to be frank. Without slavery, we wouldn't have a successful economy at all. The North spends all their time in their factories, but they like to forget that all the cotton they use for their gins comes from down south. And without slaves, there's no way at all we can get the amount necessary. I ask you, I implore you to have at least some sense of anything and completely move this act from the table, move it from suggestion. Land we have required is our right. It's our destiny, our manifest destiny.
Tom, we're back. Okay, so thank you for that wonderful insight into the South's opinion on the war and the Wilmot Proviso, Jovan. I personally feel that the Wilmot Proviso was a good thing, and that the war was not a good thing, as I stated earlier. Although I'm sure that my good friend here, Tom, was going to disagree with me. Isn't that right, Tom? Okay, that wraps up our program for the evening. This has been the past few years in review on the Anderson News Network. I've been your host, Phil Tripolina. And this has been my co-host and good friend,
Shut up, Phil!
Cut!